He's going to show how he operates together, also in collaboration with Text on Top, which are doing a great job, and I would make a round of applause to them because they're really helping us in overcoming communication barriers, which sometimes are important, and in this case, we can freely communicate and enjoy the presentation. Richard?
Oops, how's that? Hi, I'm Richard Guitarski. Nice to meet you, and thank you very much for inviting me on kind of a short notice. I went down to Budapest and I wasn't prepared to either film or do a presentation, but hopefully I soon will have done both. The slides I'm going to show and the video clips and everything like that is going to be available on the web afterwards, so you can get it from there. I'd like to point out first that I'm interested in webcasting, live streaming on the web, so to speak, internet technology. I don't care about broadcast television, TV sets, or different ways of distributing traditional TV. And also, I'm not from the accessibility community, so as an amateur there, I sort of intermingle captions from subtitles. I'm not really sure about the difference. I'm just trying to learn here, and that's why one of the reasons I went down here. I run a small company in Sweden called WeStreamU, and our ambition is to make affordable live TV productions, but on the web for customers. So typically we go to venues where there are conferences, seminars, and we also have a small studio so we can do it. But typically we take our stuff in one or two bags called flight packs. We have several cameras and we're taking PowerPoints and we make hopefully what the viewers think is a really nice TV production. Then record it, and normally there's no post-production, so everything is immediately available afterwards. And then we have this thing about accessibility as well. But first, this image here is from the control room for the TV production for the Swedish finals of the European Song Contest. The European Song Contest is one of the largest TV productions today in the world. And the Swedish finals is pretty large as well. It's lots of people sitting in lots of screens doing wonderful things. The only problem with that is that it costs a lot of money. And my ambition is so that so many people as possible should be able to make live broadcasting and do it nicely. And I'm not sure if this is going to work, but I thought I might take the chance because I haven't tried it. I actually haven't been able to try it. But here I have my smartphone. And what I'm doing now is I'm streaming live what I'm saying here on the web. And now's the first experiment. Let's click there and see what happens. Say hi to the camera. It works. Guys who created this company. It's called Bambooser 6 years ago. And one of their 8 years ago, in 2007, and one of the things they wanted to use this for democratic purposes, to have all kinds of people all over the world able to do this. Now there are other services. I think the most recent one is Meerkat. That's not my presentation. How do I get back to it? And what you also can see now increasingly is coming is like tablet production. So you have few iPhones and maybe an iPad, and then you're on a tablet. You sort of mix those cameras in those phones, and you can make a really nice production like that. The basic thing is, as a producer, when others do like webcasts, we do a production, we send that production over to a streaming service provider, also called Content Delivery Network, which in turn sort of feeds the viewers who want to watch that one. And what we're focusing on here is the production part. And I started doing this as a professional. I've been using live streaming things for longer than that, but in 2009 I started to experiment to do these kind of productions from conferences. And one of the first customers asked, "Can you do live subtitles?" And I said, "Yeah, I think so." And then he said, "Great, can you do live signing as well?" And I said, "Yeah, I think so." And then I realized that there was virtually no technologies available for it in the web. It's available for like hundreds of thousands of dollars in the broadcasting industry, but not on our level. And later they also asked for live audio descriptions. And to make a long story short, it looks terrible. It worked the first time we did it, but it looked terrible, and I was so annoyed. I wanted to create something better. So that's one of the reasons I'm so happy today as a way to doing that. This is just to illustrate today how it looks like when we do it with
I systemet hela tiden.
live streaming.
Utan se till att koda rubriker som rubriker. Då kan man få uppläst alla rubriker och hoppa direkt till det som är intressant.
So this was in a conference in May this year. So we did the production in Stockholm, and the signing interpreters were doing their thing in Örebro, which is a city about 200 kilometers away, and put the sign interpreters out there. But when I started to look into this in 2009 regarding captions or subtitles, I had some what turned out to be unusual requirements. I wanted to support professionals like many of you here who are professional, who can write fast and know about the language problems and like that. And I also wanted to format the text lines as it is in television. But most important, I wanted to be able to record the text so that you afterwards can deliver it as closed captions too. Because I think that if people don't want subtitles in the video, they shouldn't have it there. It's disturbing. I'm sorry with them. This product is wonderful, but it sort of sometimes disturbs the image. And I also wanted it to interface with available software like the application we're using when we do our productions. We did many experiments over the years. In the beginning, we used some DOS. I'm not sure if you're familiar with DOS. It's a whole piece of software that was sort of the state of the art that Swedish television had back then. We also used an Italian company called Subtide, who is specialized in doing this, which is nice but kind of expensive and not optimal in my view. So it turned out that we developed our own service. It's an open source solution called Captioning. One of the disadvantages is that it's tied to a specific software. We also tried stream text to YouTube, and now we're currently working together with text on top. So this is 2 years ago when we worked with this Captioning software that we now abandoned. This is from a conference in Stockholm. It's just a minute clip. Oh, sorry.
And to the right here you see our writing interpreters who are specialized in typing at a very high speed. So what we do here is we take a video production and they add text to that using a special software I developed called Captioning, which integrates the VidBlaster. And as you can see here, they're working in pairs, so one of their...
Yeah, so that was sort of how it looked like then. Now through one of the interpreters here, Teresa, I learned about text on top and the solution there. I was interested, can we develop something together here? So Sander's been busy writing an extra addition to this software that is usable for live stream. So this is in May this year when the Swedish Prime Minister was having a keynote at the conference. And this is just a short glimpse from behind the scenes at that production.
Vägar har en järnväg som det faktiskt går att lita på. Vi ska genomföra klimatomställningen till fullo i vårt land. Och det här kommer att skapa bättre förutsättningar för företagande, men det kommer också att skapa jobb här och nu när investeringarna genomförs. Och det är så att vi måste ha en modern infrastruktur i vårt land också för att vi ska stå oss i konkurrens.
So what you see there to the left is one of our flight case, the little thing we have to do the whole production. And the PC in the middle there, it's just a player showing the result with the captions. And in this case, the reporters or stenographers, they were sitting in Örebro again, 200 kilometers away, watching the live cast, adding the captions, and then sending out to the web as a separate stream. So in that case, we sent two streams, one with and one without subtitles or captions. So basically, this is how it operates. Like Wim here is using text on top today. That's the software application on the left part. And then he has a little dongle, and you have those of you who have tablets have dongles, so you can get it up on a tablet. And normally when we do productions now with subtitles this way, we have one of those dongles in the PC here as well. And this, so that's supposed to represent the producing PC here. So it receives the text that the reporter is writing, and there's a special application called Text on Top Video, which currently is in beta. It's not really working properly, but it's working. And that application sends the text lines to our production machine and also records all the text so that we afterwards can get closed subtitles, for instance, for YouTube. And then it turned out a big surprise to I think it was Friday night. They asked me, hey, could you film the opening ceremony? And I thought, yeah, I think so. So I put up a camera there, and Wim was sitting there in front with his desk, and this is how it looked like at my desk. I had my laptop with me. I connected a camera. Text on Top Video is running here, and it looked nice. The opening ceremony, thanks. Started, and I shot some behind the scenes videos from that too. So here's one with a very famous guy.
Do you want to grow? Do you want to learn about new technologies? Do you want to meet friends? Take a boat ride on the Danube? Look around yourself. There are people that you do not know with different faces, who speak different languages. They come from a foreign country. They belong to different cultures, maybe religions. Maybe you don't understand each other. Still, you are here and share the same thing.
Yeah, and in that case I actually streamed it live too, but without subtitles because I couldn't do anything else I could only do that with a laptop, but we recorded the captions, and thanks to the software still in beta, it's not really perfect, those recorded captions, but it sort of works.
Oh, sorry.
I said it's not really perfect, it's almost perfect. If I wrap this up in sort of a Q&A, and I'm going to be here a little bit afterwards, I have to leave tonight unfortunately, but I'm on the web, you can whatever, call me, feedback, give me hints if somebody's doing something better, which I doubt, Sander, but you know, please let me know, don't let Sander know, it's going to be disappointed. Some of the issues are caption, insert, and point, that is, where are you putting the captions on the video, and the production, that is on the venue where we are. The streaming service I was talking about before. Remote reporting, if you have the stenographers or writer somewhere else, how do you manage the delay and synchronization around that? And also on demand, sort of, should people be able to see it with and without captions live in real time and then afterwards being on demand? Now, there's a question mark here, but because I hope you have some questions, so thank you.
Thank you, Richard, very much. It was very interesting. I know a little bit about it. Now I know lots more. And do you have questions for Richard? While I think about a question, I missed something at the beginning of your speech because I went to the toilet. Sorry for that. And I was told by Ria that you made a picture of the room and then you did some magic here. I was not there, so I can't explain what it was. Can you do it again so that the chairman can have a complete picture of what happened? And Ria also appreciates to have a second experience of that. Right? Am I right? Okay.
Can somebody turn down the sound from the music here? No, from the by popular demand, this is what I did.
And what about the audio? I mean, does it work for both video and audio? Wow. And Bamboozer, is it a free word or something that you have developed?
Bamboozer it's a Swedish company. There's similar ones, Livestream in the US, Ustream, and now we have Meerkat, which is the latest sort of startup in this area. And Bamboozer is free. It's an app you can download, and it's free as long as you send from your smartphone or tablet. But if you want to send from the PC doing a production, you have to pay a small amount. Depends on how many viewers you have, but it's not that expensive.
Okay.
Explain something about the synchronization. Yeah, typically Bamboozer is very fast. It's less than a second delay from when I'm producing the stuff until it's viewed on the video. Yeah, I didn't know that. I have never done it in Hungary before, so it's very fast here too. So hooray for Hungary. YouTube has 30 seconds. So it's a 30-second delay from where we produce it to the viewers see the video. So if the stenographers are going to watch the YouTube live cast, it's not going to work unless you do something else. That's one part of the problem. The other one is if the sort of, yeah, that's more or less the big issue.
I was talking about synchronization of text and video.
Ah.
Is it real synchronization or just a delay that then synchronize on the screen? You can look for the video to the text or not? Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, well, so you were asking about the synchronization between the text and the video. So in this case, we do it locally, like we did here on the opening ceremonies. You know what I mean? See if Wim can spell it out there for me. It's the same as you get here. When we do it in our production end, if the text is going to be added at the streaming end, like it does, for instance, with YouTube, then you have to sort of adopt your application to YouTube service for that one. And if you want to use some other service, like a booster or a live stream, you have to do adoptions there as well. And they're not that very interested in doing that. And there's no standards around this. So currently what I prefer to do is to put out, like we did here in the opening part of the conference, we add it at the production site. We send 2 feeds, one with and one without captions. And one of the reasons for that is that there is really no standard for having closed captions in live streams that a lot of platforms support, like for instance your cell phone or smartphone.
Thank you very much, Richard. Do you have questions? Before, do you have any other questions? Now you can go.